r/AskReddit. What was the worst? Why the F did I say that moment? In high school, a guy in my class told us that his brother was in the hospital because of a car accident. I tried to say that's awful, but somehow the signals got crossed and what came out of my mouth was that's awesome. He gave me a look of pure hate, and I was so flustered by my own massive duck up that I wasn't able to explain myself. I still feel bad about it. Edit. My most brutally awkward high school memory is now my highest rated comment. The technical definition of awesome is something shocking or unbelievable. Through its use in modern English, it developed a positive connotation that we associate with the word today. But by the textbook, your response wasn't invalid. It was probably awesome. In middle school, my friend's sister passed away. She was very young. During the grieving process, her family naturally kept to themselves for a few months. When she was ready, a few friends went over to visit. Her dad remarked that he hadn't seen me in a while, and of course my brain decided to say, well, I've been around. It's not like I died or something. It's been 25 plus years, and I still wish I would just died that day. Eater, for those asking. No one said anything about it, and the room didn't go quiet or anything. I was 12 and, obviously, had a problem with speaking. Before thinking back then, I worked hard to fix that. Thankfully, we are still friends. Our families are friends. It was okay in the end, but I'll never forget it. I still feel terrible. It's like the only thing you had to do is not mention death. Your brain was just like, don't worry, I got this. Don't mention the war. My family was on vacation and my aunt had really bad temper tantrums. Well, she told us she was pregnant over the vacation and I then proceed to tell her I don't think you're ready for a baby. Needless to say, she got pissed. My aunt had really bad temper tantrums. I don't think you're ready for a baby. Needless to say, she got pissed. It sounds like you were correct. I'm pretty sure someone will be pissed whether they throw bad temper tantrums or not. Unless they agreed with a guy. I had a phone interview for a summer camp. They asked me what I would do if we took them to an ice rink and one kid skated over another's finger and severed it. I replied, I know severed digits can be saved in ice. I would leave it on the ice rink to chill while we wait for an ambulance. The lady sounded horrified, and I did not get the job. If that wasn't the right answer, then I don't know what is. Eat the finger. Establish who is alpha. At funeral for an 18-year-old. Unexpected death. Father of deceased asked how my kids are. Oh well, they're all still alive, so I guess we are doing okay. I'm surprised my father-in-law still loves me. Did you melt into the floor? I would have. And then puddled away. Aviol Alex Mac. I was the director of surgery at a heart hospital. When the heart team wheels a patient into surgery, they often pause near the surgery door so that the loved ones can hug them one last time before surgery. When it's open heart surgery, there's always a chance it's a final goodbye. Anyway, we are used to this scene. But what often follows is that the loved one looks around, unsure where to go to exit into the waiting room. All the hallways and corridors look the same. We usually have to show them the way out. One day I watched this scene unfold as an elderly woman cried and said goodbye to her husband before open heart surgery. Sure enough, after the exchange she began looking around for which way to go. I approached her, and what I meant to say was, it's okay. You'd never find your way out of our confusing hallways without some help. What actually said was much worse. I went up to her, and these words came out. Nobody makes it out to here alive. I couldn't have said anything worse in that situation. I don't know why it came out that way. Did he live though? We need to know. Did he? Saw a high school acquaintance working in a grocery store near me. Stopped to chat with him for a few. As I was leaving, I thought to myself, give him a clever goodbye. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. It was July. Meh. Close enough. I felt pretty damn dumb the instant he flashed me that, okay, look, I deserved it. A friend was telling me about her holiday water skiing when her swimsuit had ripped, exposing her butt. A pretty embarrassing moment, right? Well, all I could say was I hope you had a nice butt. That's actually kind of transparently hilarious. It's all in the delivery. If Op said it with a straight face, it would be creepy. Especially if he is a male. When I was around 15 probably, I played on a competitive baseball team. I was warming up to pitch the next inning while a buddy was batting. A couple pitches into the at-bat, he got absolutely smoked in the head. Of course. My dumbass yells, "Way to use your head, Luke." I got a lot of hateful looks the rest of the day. But they were definitely well deserved. Edit. Now that I've thought about it more, I've realized that Luke became the kid that always gets hurt after that. ACL. Broken fibula. Hairline fractures in his feet. I swear the kid was never healthy in high school. That's pretty duckin' funny, as long as he wasn't seriously injured. He dead. I run a cannabis accessory company. I landed at JFK Customs after a long flight. Dazed out officer asks me what do I do, and without thinking, I say, I work in cannabis. Duck. Me. I mean I make bongs. Hit. Me. Accessories like ashtrays and lighters. Officer gave me the "why would you say that, you idiot" look and asked if I had any on me. I said no, and onwards I went paranoid AF. I sell bongs and bong accessories. Smoke the weed, not the seed. In high school I was trying to chase down a friend for stealing my food. He hid behind one of our more overweight friends. And I proceeded to say, "Ugh, you're so fat." Was referring to my friend who stole the food. I totally ducked up and there was no way I could convince them I was referring to the friend who stole the food. Mission impossible. My best friend and his fiance were in the maternity ward because she was in labor. Him and I went out for a smoke. I had a lanyard around my neck. He jokes that I could pass myself off as one of the nurses if it had an ID on it. I get into character, as I sometimes do when I prepare jokes. Walking down the corridor to leave the maternity ward. New mothers and new mothers to be waiting in their rooms. When this wonderful nugget comes out of my mouth. Quite loudly. "Yeah. I'm really sorry. But your baby has cancer." That was my joke. That was my ducking joke. Now, I'm known for offensive jokes. But this was way too far. My best friend almost knocked me out then and there. If he did knock you out, at least you'd already be in hospital. Duck. I feel ripped off now. Religious friend sitting next to me on the bus discussing religion. Him, "You're so open-minded about all this information, dude." Me, "It's not like I'll nail you to a cross and torture you or anything." Quiet bus ride after that comment. Felt bad, still feel bad. I'm a Christian. And that's hilarious. Same. Not quite /r/dang Christian memes material, but still funny as hell. I was at a very small party at a guy's house, and it was awkwardly silent. As I sat down on the couch I decided to compliment it. "It's really comfortable. I've been thinking about getting one of those, but they are just so ugly." Why did I add that last part? Clearly your brain was one step ahead of you, trying to find a way not to get anyone to gift it to you. Was talking about some troubles at work with my family. I asked my aunt what the worst thing to happen at her job was. Suddenly remembered she worked in the South Twin Tower on 9/11. Well, so it could have been worse. Yeah, for sure. As an adult now I know that a lot of what made her the fun aunt was probably induced by anxiety and her nervousness. Not that she was at 100% pre 9/11 from some stories I've heard. But she lost a lot of friends that day. I still think about this moment to this day and cringe. I was around 10 years old when we were at my grandma's house for Christmas. I had just gotten a football and was playing around with it in the kitchen. Being the immature kid I was, I tossed it to my uncle and yelled, "Smear the queer." Everyone got silent and then quietly resumed what they were doing. I thought nothing of it, since I was young and most everything went over my head anyways. It wasn't until we got into the car while going home that my mom finally told me that my uncle was gay. I was mortified. How was I supposed to know? I always thought that him and the guy he lived with were just best friends. Still feel super awkward around him because of that day. How is smear the queer even a saying? And what does it mean? Yes, it is a game. Basically consists of everyone tackling whomever has the ball with no ending to said game. I went to Catholic school. which invariably means we are at least a year behind the public schools in any popular fad. And we had Smear the Queer. Looking back, I guess the bull holder is queer, in that they are the only one that has a bull. Good practice for militant nationalism. So not a conventional answer, as I didn't immediately know. I ducked up until my parents kind of explained it to me after. So I was like 12 over 13 and round a mate's house, and on the back of his bedroom door he had a poster of loads of different shaved pussies. Cartoon style, so not immediately obvious. So it had the runway, the Brazilian, etc. You get the gist. So I'm back at home, and my mum asks how I want my hair cut, and for some reason one of the names off the poster really stuck in my head. So I answer immediately, I want a shaven haven, thinking that meant shaved head. My mum and dad start laughing uncontrollably, and I'm stood there gormless, not knowing what the duck was funny. Dad took me aside, gave me a little pep talk, and everything became clear. I still have nightmares about that hit man. Wait, what? Your friend has pictures of shaved vags? Yeah. You don't just gloss over your friend having a vag poster on his wall the back of his door. As a kid, my older half-sister brought her new boyfriend over to meet our dad and the rest of us. I honestly meant to wish them well, but the words that came out of my mouth were, "I hope you have better luck than the last guy." My dad immediately yelled, "Geo, to your room," which honestly perplexed me at the time. I had to think about it for a bit before I realized how stupid I was. That's not even that stupid. Sounds like typical new boyfriend teasing from the family. Your dad's reaction was a bit weird, emo. Trick question. The dad was the last guy. Ducking, like and subscribe.